Okay, welcome students to irrigation engineering subject code 1615505, and in this PPT we are going to see about canals on this lecture 1, and I am going to teach you what are canals and their components in this upcoming slides. Okay, fine. Okay, the contents of our lecture are first canals, their classification and the design of most economical canal section, and canal lining, its definition, purpose, types of canals, their lining advantages and their lining properties, and CD works, which means cross drainage works, canal falls, escapes, cross regulators and canal outlets. Okay. Okay, what is a canal irrigation? Actually, a canal irrigation is defined as a type of irrigation in which the main waterways, these irrigation canals are the main waterways which collect water from a storage area, that is a dam or a weir, and from where it takes the water to this irrigated land, irrigating land. Okay, that type of system is called as the canal irrigation system. Actually, there are two different schemes in canal irrigation, which is a direct irrigation scheme and another one is an indirect irrigation scheme. Okay, and it is actually the irrigation is done for both alluvial and non-alluvial soil types. Okay, fine. Okay, in this slide you can see what is a typical canal irrigation looks like. Actually, the first like pipeline or the first like canal line which is going at the top is the main canal or the main waterway. Okay, from which the water is being flowing continuously, and there is a diversion canal ahead of this in the right side. Okay, which is being attached with a distributary head regulator which is present at this right side end. The water from the main waterway is actually diverted through this distributary head regulator, and it finally reaches the irrigation land where you are going to irrigate. Okay, then the main water canal continues with its operations. Okay, fine. Okay, what is an alluvial soil type canal? Actually, the soil which is formed by transportation and deposition of silt through the agency of water over a course of time is called as the alluvial soil. The area of alluvial soil is even and it is having a flat surface slope. There will be no hard foundation on these type of soils. This statement actually explains what means the soil which is being washed away. Actually, if rain is occurring in a particular hard stratum or a hard foundation, hard rock like formations, it will automatically wash away the weak rocks which are present on the hard surface. Okay, through that weak rocks which are being washed away from that original place, and it settles at somewhere else. Okay, it will settle at a downstream portion at somewhere, and it generally settles as a silt because it breaks down when it actually washes away. Okay, this is generally done by the water from the rainfall. Okay, this type of silt which is formed after this washing away is called as the alluvial soil. Okay, this area of alluvial soil is flat. They generally have a flat surface slope. Okay, there will be no hard foundations on these type of soils. Okay, could you get the point? Then the second point, the river which is flowing through this type of soil tend to change their course. Actually, what it means that suppose a river is flowing through this type of soil means it actually changes its direction. Okay, due to the source slope surface is generally not rough, it's the flat and it is like smooth, so that the water will generally flow away in a different direction. Okay, and then the riverbed will be permeable and the water seepage will be high. It means that the water you may in the first point you may actually understand it has a flat surface slope, which means that there will be more pores since the surface slope is not so much hard or like so much rough. The water will easily pass through the fissures which are present at the bed or the river bed of the particular place where the water is being flowing. Okay, this causes high water seepage, and hence the canals that are constructed on this type of soil is called as alluvial canals. Okay, could you get the point? Actually, the canals which are constructed on these type of rivers is known as the alluvial type of canals, alluvial canals. Okay, then the alluvial soil types generally are fertile. Since these soils are being washed away through its continuous lifespan, through the continuous these soils obtain more amount of minerals while they are getting washed away, so they become so fertile, so it can absorb considerable amount of rainfall and retain it in maximum in the substratum in their aquifer or vadose zone. Okay, the vadose zone is the zone where the water is being stored under the aquifer. Okay, then and it making it highly productive as the water remains in the root zone of the crops, which means that suppose the crops which are growing nearby this place actually get the water from this substratum where the water is being seeped in this soils. Okay, they directly get the water from their substratum, so that they have a highly productive value. Okay, fine. Okay, this is the non-alluvial soil type canal in which you can see a mountainous region. Okay, consider a mountainous region where it continuously disintegrates due to the weathering actions. You know what is weathering actions? Like like rainfall will happen, like wind flow will be heavy at that area, like earthquake or plate movements will be there in that area, so that actually the rock like formation which is present at that particular area gets disintegrating throughout their entire time. Okay, throughout their entire lifespan, and actually they disintegrate continuously and form into silts. Okay, and then result in the formation of a rocky plain area. Actually these will be not like the same alluvial soil type, like the surface will not be plain, it will be like rocky. There will be uneven stones which are present continuously due to the disintegration of the parent rock or the rock which were present at their early stage. Okay, this type of area is called as non-alluvial area, and this type of area is considering considerable to have a uneven topography, which means that there will be no even plain surface. Okay, plain surface or slope will never be available. Continuous undulations and uneven portions will be seen throughout this particular area, and you can see the canal which is being constructed here is said to be non-alluvial type of canal. Okay, and the rivers which are passing through this canal generally do not change their direction. Okay, they tend to flow in a particular same direction throughout the year. Okay, and the canals which are passing through this type of soil is called as non-alluvial canals. Majority of these type of canals are found in Maharashtra. Okay, and the soil type in Maharashtra is a non-alluvial soil. Okay, then the storage irrigation is generally adopted for this type of soil, since the water will flow in a single same direction. You should store the water, so storage irrigation is being adopted. Okay. Okay, yeah, in this slide you can see the difference between a alluvial and a non-alluvial canal. You can see a clear difference. See here, the sand portion which is present in the left in the first picture is like very smooth, like it is like a beach sand. You can see it clearly, but it is a silty sand. Okay, which is being washed away from the rock-like structures, and it is being settled as a silt. But here you can see in the second picture there are like strong boulder rocks which are present throughout the canal area where water is flowing through. You can see large types of boulder like rocks. Okay, these are generally rubbed from due to the weathering action occurring at that particular rocky surface. Okay, and they settle like this. Okay, fine. Okay, in this slide we are going to see about the alignment of canals. Okay, the irrigation canals actually be aligned by three methods. Okay, the first is as watershed canal or a ridge canal, as contour canal, as side slope canal. Okay, I am going to explain the three types in the upcoming slides. Okay. Okay, in this slide we are going to see about the first type, which is the watershed canal or a ridge canal. Actually, you should know what is a watershed and what is its definition. Actually, watershed is an area where water is generally stored or it is being present for like months due to the rainfall, and from where the water is being flowed to the nearby river or a stream or a reservoir which is flowing through that particular area or nearby it. Okay, the watershed generally catches and has some amount of water, and this water finally passes to the ongoing stream which is nearby. Okay, this is called as a watershed. Okay, then the watershed canal is defined as the dividing ridge line. You consider a ridge line which separates two different catchment areas. Okay, two different catchment areas of two different streams. Okay, it is called as the watershed or a ridge. Okay, between the two major streams there is the main watershed which divides the drainage area of the two streams, which this line explains that there are two different streams. You assume there are two different streams flowing in a particular direction. Okay, then there is a main watershed. Okay, there is a for these two streams there is a single watershed. Okay, and from this watershed the water is being supplied for these two streams. Okay, I mean supplied means the water is generally flowing from the watershed to two of these streams. Okay, actually this watershed divides the two streams. Okay, understand the point clearly. Okay, then the between a main stream and any tributary there are subsidiary watersheds. Okay, this line means that if there is a main stream, okay, there are different watersheds which are present nearby it. Okay, the stream will flow across a continuous area. Okay, there will be no end for it. Okay, it flows continuously, and nearby it there will be more amount of natural watersheds or artificial watersheds nearby it. Okay, these watersheds generally from where the water will be flowing through these watersheds to the stream. Okay, actually these are called as the subsidiary watersheds or ridge lines. Okay, fine. Okay, in this slide, the watershed canal or a ridge canal is to be constructed at a particular point. Actually, you should align the canal based upon the watershed direction and according to the river stream direction. Okay, the flow direction of the river stream too. Actually, the canal is said to be in a plain area where land slopes are relatively flat and uniform. You can install a watershed canal. Okay, actually if you want to do this, so you have to align it. Okay, you have to align that particular place according to it, and the watershed should be aligned in such a way that it should be able and possible to irrigate the nearby areas. Okay, then for this type of canal to be installed, there will be no requirement of cross drainage and natural drainage, which means that you are not going to install a cross drainage regulator. Okay, actually cross drainage regulator means like if you are going to divert the water to a particular place, you need not going to construct a particular crosshead regulator over there to actually regulate the water to that particular irrigation place. It will automatically move through this watershed canal to the particular places. So the second point explains that. Okay, fine. Okay, in this slide you can see a ridge canal. At the top portion you can see the like a ridge point which is being mentioned as the infinite arrows. Okay, infinite arrows, and it is mentioned as the watershed or a ridge line. Okay, you can see in the top portion, and where it is going to get attached to this canal, and which separates two different river streams. As I explained before, it actually separates two different rivers, and this river over here is being attached with a canal, and it is attached with the main watershed or the ridge line. Okay, so that the water through this canal will continuously pass through the particular irrigating place. Okay, fine. Okay, in this slide you can see two pictures of what is a watershed. Okay, you can see clearly that there are so many in the first picture. There are so many crack-like projections in the mountains. Okay, these are the actual watersheds. Okay, from where the water is being transported and transmitted to the great stream or the main stream. Okay, then in the second picture you can see due to rain and snow, water is being collected at the ridges. Okay, or the watersheds, and then it is transported to the main stream or the main canal, where your water is going to be used for irrigation and other purposes. Okay, fine. Okay, in this slide you are going to see about the contour canal. Okay, you know what is a contour is? Contour is a line or an imaginary line which joins points of equal elevation above a datum or above a land surface above the mean sea level. You know what is a mean sea level is? Actually, mean sea level varies for different areas. You can see the mean sea level in railway stations. If you go to a particular railway station and you can, if you see the name board of in the particular railway station, in the down portion they will be mentioning the datum line level or the mean sea level. Okay, actually this contour line is actually an imaginary line. Okay, if you are going to construct a canal over a particular place, you will identify the contour lines in the topography map. Okay, the contour lines will be available only on the topography map. Other maps it will not be available. Okay, if you are going to construct in that particular position the canal, then you have to identify what and all natural features, like what and all the irrigative lands which are present at that particular position. You cannot identify through like a normal map. Okay, you cannot identify through a normal map. You have to see in the topography map. Actually, in the topography map, the contour lines cover the total irrigative lands in that particular in their particular positions. Okay, so that if you are going to construct a particular canal, you can see the corresponding irrigating land nearby the canal through this contour line. Okay, so that you can easily connect the canal so that it can irrigate the particular irrigating land nearby it. So can contour line plays an important role in it. Okay, then these canals can irrigate an area on one side only, which means that contour lines are generally will be like uneven. Like you, if you see, it will be like circular or like a cylindrical type, but those lines are uneven. Okay, so you can only irrigate only through one side only. Okay, then the third point here is these contour channels follow a contour except for giving the required longitudinal slope to the canal, which means that if you are constructing the canal at that particular place, you are going to see what and all irrigating lands which are nearby it. Okay, through that contour lines. Also, these contour lines also help us to find the slope. Okay, slope of the particular place. Okay, so that you can align your canal in such a way that it can pass the water in the gravity itself to the particular irrigating place, so that it will be easy for you. And if you are going to place a regulator like structure over that place, it will be a more difficult thing. You are going to spend more like cost on that particular irrigator regulators too. So in order to avoid that, you can actually see the particular contour lines and you can identify the slope in that particular area, and you can easily irrigate your land under gravity through the canals itself. Okay, then the fourth point here explains the river slope should be much steeper than the canal bed slope, which means that your river slope, the slope through which the water is flowing from its source. Okay, it should be steeper. Okay, such that the canal bed slope should be like steeper than canal bed slope. Okay, the canal encompasses more and more area between itself and the river, which means that actually the canal actually has more area coverage than the river. Okay, which means that your river is going to get like a straight it is going to flow in a straight direction only. It will go in some spiral ways, and also it is going to be like not going to end at a particular place. It will be flowing continuously, but you are going to divert the water to the nearby irrigating areas, so that you have to make a steeper slope. Okay, the canal encompasses more and more area between itself and the river. This is what that point explains. Okay, fine. Okay, this picture represents the contour canal. You can see in the picture there are certain contour lines, the wrinkle-like lines which are present continuously throughout the picture. These are the contour lines, and the ridge canal is the broad line which is being present, which is near the contour line, so that the river water is actually being transmitted through this ridge canal or the contour canal, and it is being transported to the nearby irrigating lands. Okay, fine. Okay, in this slide we are going to see about the side slope canal. Okay, the side slope canal is a type of canal which is similar to the contour canal. Okay, the side slope canal is generally aligned right angle towards the contours. Okay, contours are generally obtained from the topographic map which is available for each and every place in India, not only in India, in other countries too. Okay, from that we are obtaining the contours actually, and we are comparing the contours with the position where we are going to construct the canal, and we are aligning in right angles to that. Okay, the canal, this canal actually runs parallel to the drainage, natural drainage flow. Okay, there will be no interception of this canal with that natural drainage flow. Okay, it will only flow parallel to that, it will not intercept with it. Okay, thus avoiding the construction of a cross drainage network. Actually I have explained in the previous slides about cross drainage structures. Actually again I am going to say what is a cross drainage structure is. A cross drainage structure is one where the water which is flowing from the main canal is actually diverted through this cross drainage regulators, and it actually passes to a particular irrigating land. Okay, this is the use of a cross drainage regulating structures. Okay, so yeah, these type of structures are not useful in this side slope canal, and they are not provided for it. Okay, these type of canals are generally aligned at right angles to contour of the country such that they do not intercept with the watershed or valley. Okay, you understand the point clearly. Okay, then the third point here is the canal thus runs roughly parallel to the natural drainage, which means natural drainage means the natural reservoir or the river stream. Okay, and such cross drainage works are not avoided. Okay, that only I have explained in the first point too. Okay. Okay, the one of the advantage of this side slope canal is that it is not intercepting any cross drainage works, but its course, actually the course through which it is moving is actually should be a short route. Okay, so that it reaches the nearest valley, and such channel should be like along a line of steepest slope. Okay, you understand it, what is a steepest slope is, like the slope without without any rough edges is called as a steepest possible slope, and it should be not like in very flat areas. Okay, you understand what is a side slope canal is there. Okay. Okay, on the basis of financial input, there are actually two types of canals. The first one is the productive canal, and the second one is the protective canal. We are going to see in the further slides about these two types. Okay. Okay, the first one is the productive canal. Actually, these productive canals yield their revenue, which means that it yields some amount of money for our nation after full development for irrigation purposes. Okay, these canals after repair maintenance yield revenue to the state. Actually, they have very less amount of maintenance and repairing cost. Okay, the revenue they yield should be installment of initial investment plus 6.14% of the total interest on the total investment, which means that they yield 6.1 6.5%. Okay, 6.5% of the total investment to the government. Okay, that type of canal should be constructed. Okay, then the most of the irrigation canals pertain to this category. Okay, if you see in India, most of the irrigation canals come under this category only. Actually, you may think how productive canals can yield money for the government. You actually, the if you are going to irrigate your particular land, you are getting a connection from government. Okay, you cannot freely access the water from these canals. Actually, you have to pay money for this. So that money is actually the revenue which is going to go for the government, and this a particular amount of money should be like in installments, and it should be 6.5%, 6 into 1 by 4 percentage of the investment. Okay, kindly understand this. Okay, fine. Okay, this is the second type of canal, which is known as the protective canal. Actually, the protective canals are not similar to productive canals. Okay, protective canals generally yield money. Actually, they give revenue to the government. Okay, but these protective canals are only operated at times when there is no like rain or no flood, or like there is no no water in that particular area. Okay, these type of canals are operated only when water is short, okay, water is short, and at that particular time water from different streams are being diverted to these canals to irrigate the place where the place has not attained any rain, or it is in a particular famine condition, okay. And these canals are constructed as permanent, okay, they are not constructed as a temporary structure, they are constructed permanent according to regulations. And then the discharge of water is left only under the normal conditions, okay. The excess water will not be allowed to flow to flow in these type of canals, okay. These canals do not give any revenue to the state, which I have explained in the first point itself, okay, fine.